All right, here we are again.
Hi.
Hey, Jenny. All right.
Hey.
So, Jenny and I wanted to get together briefly for a chat just to share with you guys a new idea that we have. Um, I am Jamie Brooke of Jamie Brooke Wellness. I interviewed Jenny a few weeks ago about her experience living with alpha gal. And if you haven't checked that out, we'll put a link in the comments. It's also on my YouTube channel, Jamie Brooke Wellness. It's an awesome interview. And so definitely check it out. But anyway, after we talked about that, we had this awesome idea that we would throw out to you guys. I teach a Restart program. So I'm a nutritional therapy practitioner. I work one-on-one with clients, basically empowering others to nourish their bodies with real nutrient-dense foods and lifestyle tweaks. No diets, none of that crazy stuff, just learning how to fuel your body in a way that makes you feel your best, and learning how to read labels, learning about how your body works, digestion, blood sugar regulation, which fats to choose, because yes, fats are very important, and all of that. So I guess I'll start off by talking a little bit about the Restart program, and then we can kind of share the idea. Does that sound good?
Yes.
Okay. All right. So I teach this small group nutrition program. It's one of it's probably the most popular thing or service that I offer, I guess. And it's a small group program. It was originally designed to be a 5-week program, right? So each week we would dive into a different topic, live Zoom calls. So you can be from anywhere in your pajamas, type in and just sit back and learn. I'm going to share a screen real quick with you guys. So basically, this is how the program was originally designed, as a 5-week program. And I'll explain what I mean by that in a second. So week 1, we talk about our intentions with coming into the program, what our goals are, what the next 5 weeks is going to look like, and also about the 3-week built-in elimination anti-inflammatory protocol that we all go through together. So the first week is all about preparing for that, looking at the food lists and all that good stuff. The second week is about digestion. We don't talk about digestion enough, right? So digestion is super important. Optimizing digestion. You could be eating all of the real whole nutrient-dense foods out there, cutting out processed foods, all of that. But if you're not efficiently and effectively digesting those foods in a way that's going to allow you to access the nutrients from those foods, then you're in trouble. So we talk about that. Then the next week, we talk all about sugar, blood sugar balance. We talk about reading labels and, the different types of sugar. It's always a fun week. And the next week is all about dietary fats. So which fats to include, which fats to avoid, because there are fats that are super nourishing that we need. And there are fats that are super inflammatory that we should avoid. And most of those are found in a lot of the processed foods. But during the protocol, we're not going to be eating a lot of those processed foods, so you won't have to worry about that. But we'll talk more about that. And then the 5th week, we talk about reintroducing the foods that we have eliminated during the protocol. So one of the cool things is, and Jenny and I were talking briefly about this before, is that this protocol where you would be avoiding processed foods, inflammatory fats, and other ingredients, added sugar. And we do also eliminate certain other foods that are nutritious, but that could be problematic for some people, like grains, legumes, and things like that. So, and dairy. After the fact, after the program or at the end of the program, we talk about how to reintroduce those foods in a way that is going to give you information, right? Because our bodies send us messages all the time. Sometimes we just don't listen to them or know how to recognize them. but it's a cool way to figure out if you have sensitivities to certain foods and things like that. The reason why I said it was a 5-week program is because in the last few Restart programs, I've decided to add a 6th week. So some of the feedback that I've gotten from past participants is, love the program, but I'm not done yet. I don't want to let you go. I want to learn more. So that 6th week is really all about the group. What they want in terms of if they want to learn about, some of the better snacky foods out there that are made with better ingredients, recipes that are going to go, that are going to be popular with their family if they're trying to like transition over to more wholesome foods for their kids or their husbands or wives or whatever, and themselves, right? So how to navigate social situations when you're trying to make better choices when it comes to your foods and lifestyle. So I know that was a lot of information, but I wanted everybody to kind of get an idea of what the program was about in a nutshell. I could talk about it forever, but we're just trying to keep this brief. So our idea, well, Jenny, why don't you talk about the idea? Because I've been talking forever.
Well, I know that, no, I think it's great. I know that after we did the interview for Alpha-Gal and my journey with Alpha-Gal, a lot of people reached out to me from a lot of the support groups that I was in. And they had a lot of questions about, what would I recommend as a good nutritious base and a good plan to start with eliminating a lot of the triggers that they've been dealing with, because like I said in the interview, that a lot of the triggers are triggers that aren't really discussed by our medical community. It's a lot more broad than mammal meat, right? So a lot of people reached out to me, and I just thought, I know what I'm talking about, but Jamie really knows what she's talking about, because what I learned is what I learned from Jamie. And so the Restart class is absolutely amazing. It really covers everything from, square one to the end. I mean, it really covers a whole plethora of the information that we're missing when it comes to fad diets and you just want to have the foundation. You want to have the foundation. You want to have a clear understanding of what good nutrition is. It's not a program where you're counting calories or there's shame involved. There's nothing like that. I think I had a piece of cake in the beginning of the class, and there was no shame. I mean, it was like, it happens, move on, and let's grow together. So, relating it to the Alpha-Gal journey, a lot of people are really struggling with a way to nourish their body and avoid those triggers, those new triggers that we're not quite used to. And this class was instrumental in me navigating that journey. And I just thought, what better way to reach out to a lot of my fellow Alpha-Galers than to have some sort of a class taught by Jamie. And it really focuses on not just eliminating the mammal meats, but also eliminating the other trigger foods, like what I spoke about in the interview with gluten, which isn't an Alpha-Gal, technically Alpha-Gal related, but with this class, I realized that, gluten was causing some inflammation for me as well. So it's basically Jamie's Restart class, tweaked a little bit towards people who have Alpha-Gal and to kind of help them through their journey. And I think it is so needed, because so many of us are just kind of whirling in circles, not quite knowing where to go, where to start, how to get there. So I feel like this is just kind of a clear-cut path. And it's a whole life approach versus just focusing on those mammal meats. And I highly recommend it as a good foundation.
Well, when you thought of it, I was like, brilliant, because everybody, regardless of what sensitivities you have, what diagnoses you have, like, those foundations are key. We all need to optimize digestion. We all need to look and think about blood sugar regulation. Understanding which foods out there are inflammatory and which ones aren't, even outside of trigger foods that maybe for us individually are inflammatory, right? So this program, while the curriculum wasn't specifically designed for alpha-gal, what we were thinking of doing was just modifying it. So, and really nothing would change other than modifications to the food list, right? So and the whole idea of being in a group, and I say small group, meaning I will not take more than 10, and the average size group is 6 to 7 people. Because we like to keep it small and intimate, and, being in a group with other folks that are going through very similar challenges and, have the same foods that they're trying to avoid, and being able to share your own personal experiences and what you've learned. Anyways, we wanted to pitch the idea out to you guys and see what you think. And if you're interested in that, we could get a group together. And, if we have a lot of interest, we can do 2 different groups. But, we'll start with one group. We'll get feedback as to times and days. It would meet once a week for 1 hour to 1.5 hours. Zoom live classes that I'll teach, but in between the classes, you'll get PDF, or actually for the classes, you'll get class materials, but between classes, you'll get additional resources from me and Jenny. And there's also an opportunity to be included in a private Facebook group for additional recipes, and that you will get a cookbook, and just coaching support for 6 weeks from me, and some support from Jenny, who it's kind of like nutrition is my jam, and the alpha-gal resource will be Jenny. So together we can, I think, create a really cool nutrition alpha-gal focused program. So if you're interested in that, please let us know. Either reach out to Jenny or me. I'm JamieBrookeWellness.com, JAIMEBROOKE wellness. It's spelled actually right up there on the screen. So reach out to us or comment below and let us know if that's something that you're interested in. If you are listening to this video and you're like, what is alpha-gal? I don't even know what that is. And, that's okay. I wanted to throw this out there because if you have an idea for a group, whether it is you and your workmates or you and, neighborhood friends, you could food prep together or whatever. I mean, any kind of group that you would like to have closed and go through the program together, I'm totally open to that. So let me know if you're interested in that. So, and Jenny actually went through the program. I don't know if she mentioned that in the beginning.
Yeah.
So she knows how it rolls. And if there's one thing that you could share, maybe, because I know we're kind of running on time, that you liked about the program or that you took from it.
I'll try and keep it short because I absolutely love this program. Some of the great things that I took away is I'm still friends with a lot of the young ladies I took the class with on Facebook. And it was really neat to go on this journey with them because at no point do you feel like, oh, I feel so dumb. I don't know what I'm talking about, or I don't understand how to read a food label, because we're all in this together. Everyone is kind of on equal playing fields. And if people know a little bit more than you, that's okay, because they can kind of lift you up and share their experiences as well. It was a wonderful class. And it really did help me navigate through the process of alpha-gal, and just to have a community of people who you can relate to, who really understand your struggle and your journey. It really is very important. And it really does help boost you through, the tough times, and you want to throw your hands up in the air and give up, but you can't, you can't. So find a good community. This is a fantastic opportunity. I would literally take the class 20 times over if I could.
That's great. I know, I love it. And I'm not to interrupt, but I remember you sharing some of your experiences in just 2 weeks during 2 weeks out of the 3 week protocol of just eliminating the processed foods and the artificial ingredients and the sugar. It's amazing. I mean, people sharing, that their energy has improved, the digestion has improved, skin, hair, you know, gosh, if they have PMS symptoms for the ladies. And I mean, that's totally, that have, for some people has been eliminated or greatly reduced. Achy joints. It's endless. Like, I love it. Do you remember anything like about how you felt or better sleep? I'm trying to
Oh,
remember
yeah.
for you.
So I've always struggled with sleep quite a bit. And I didn't realize how much sugar I was getting in my daily intake that was hidden sugars.
Mhm.
And when we started doing the elimination, I could not believe how much better I slept, and my skin cleared up tremendously. And that was a big thing, because when we added a lot of the foods back in, I started having some of these issues again. So it really just kind of pulls apart, every trigger that you could possibly be facing. And as you add it back in, you can really understand how your bio individuality is and how your body works. Because like Jamie said before, everybody's different.
Mhm.
And this isn't a one size fits all program. It really does cater to everyone. And it's just, I'm so excited.
Yeah, no, me
I
too.
love this class.
Okay. All right. So we'll leave it out there for you guys to think about and let us know, if you're interested for sure. And we can get this going, because I think it's
Yay!
really cool. And I'll
Yes.
post some more details about the program in the comments, and we hope to hear from you soon.
Yes.
All right.
Thank
Thanks.
you. Take care.